and find something you're passionate about besides Ziggy.
Hey guys, so I said I would be back, and here I am, so just to discuss some things Summer Wells, since I haven't for a few days. And there are some things that a little bit of stuff that's happened. Hey Jam, being today's wiener chicken. I need to put I need to make a sticker for that for members. I need to change it up, the stickers, because we haven't added anything new for. If anybody comes up with a design that they think should be added as a sticker, I'll add it for you guys. If somebody wants to design a sticker for this chat, whatever you feel like that would suit this channel, then feel free. Oh, hey, Lady of the Wood. You got a notification this time? Hey, Marie, Lyrics, and Lady May. So while we're waiting for some people to pile in here, I don't know who's live. I did see Justin was live. I tried to wait, but I'm kind of tired this evening, so I needed to go live. I came across this and I thought it was interesting because it's so many people have labeled Fred Hill as like some kind of crazy maniac because of this incident. And on this website, it's gunviolencearchive.org. So once again, gunviolencearchive.org is the website. It talks about the incident. It says February 24th of 2016. It was over at 167 Ben Hill Road in Rogersville, Tennessee. The participants, the type was a subject suspect named Roy Fanning, age 44, adult male, over 18, stuttered, injured, and arrested. Second subject suspect, Fred Hill Jr., 39, adult, 18 plus, male, unharmed. Incident characteristics: shot, wounded, and injured. Defensive use. Victim stops crime. Possession of gun by felon or prohibited person. And that one right there is Fred Hill's downfall there. Suspect shot another man who fired shots in air, then pointed gun at suspect. 2 guns involved, and then it has the articles here. So, it says victim stops. It says it was defensive use. But since he had a possession of a gun, that makes him also suspect, it looks like. I haven't heard anything about Dudley. Good night, Pam. It's okay. I get it. Hey, Kiwi girl. Yeah, I mentioned it in my last live. For those that don't know, yeah, he does have a warrant over that incident that happened with him and his wife. It's like a stalking charge. I thought it initially started as like some kind of harassment, but now it looks like it's like changed to stalking. Benny, just leave her. You gotta just let it go, man. Like, unfortunately, you can't force somebody to do what you want them to do. You have to just do it the right way. Do I know any Chris or Jeff involved in the case? I don't know, but you just made me think of something. Hold on. Something that I haven't had a chance to talk about. There's probably is a Chris or Jeff involved. I just can't think of one right now. Maybe somebody in the chat, maybe somebody will let's see. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but we have another person to add to the list who has passed away and has involved in this case with Summer Wells. I was absolutely floored when I heard this. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know the details because I haven't had really much of a chance to look into it. But this guy is one of the two tree guys that me and Kathy Gordon spoke to when the first time I went to Tennessee. He is one of the two guys that was standing there in that recorded conversation that I had with him, Paul, and he even says his name on the recording. And the other guy was Scott. I tried messaging Scott and asking, like, oh my God, like, I wish he would have, Scott would have told me. But I haven't got a response there. Chris, ex-husband of Rose, there you go. Chris Larson, I guess, if very indirectly related. Oh yeah, the private investigator named Chris. There you go. Is it Christopher Marcos? Is that his name? Isn't it something else? Oh, she mentioned two names. Doesn't Candace have a cousin named Chris? And Jeff is the family of Brits. Jeff. That Jeff is like definitely not a name I've heard. I don't think. Yeah, I haven't heard that name. I bet we have already discussed or talked about whoever is responsible for what happened to Summer. I bet anything. Now, we may not have discussed everybody who is involved in some direct or indirect way, but it's weird how we're still coming up with new things, like, and that you would think we would have known by now, but so much is with this case is so weird. This is almost as baffling of a case, like, as far as, especially, did you guys see the TBI article or whatever or they were quoted in saying that this is one of probably the most involved cases they've ever covered. I can't remember the other word they used. One of them was involved. One of you guys will know. There you go, Christopher. Yeah, I guess his Marcos. Hey, Mama Two. Hey, One Love. Hey, Lana, Lady May, Renegade. Exhaustive. That's interesting. What's that make you guys think? When I think of the words involved and exhaustive, I'm thinking tons and tons of people involved. That's what I think. I'm thinking like, that's what I feel like those two words mean, involved and exhausted. People, well-known people in the community being involved, and it has something to do with something bigger, like some kind of ring. Trafficking, more than likely. Could also, actually, because of the area and the crimes that I've seen a lot. I mean, this is everywhere. It's not just that area, and it's probably just the people that we've covered. But CP, child P, is, that could be another too. That could be the other thing. CP ring. But a lot of times, isn't that related to trafficking, child trafficking? Isn't it kind of like the same thing in a way? Because don't they usually go kind of hand in hand? I don't know. More than 20 people is what you think? I know, it's crazy, Lisa. Hey, Kathy, I was just talking about how me and you had talked to this man that's shown right here. He was one of the 2 tree trimmers that we had ran into over there by that little prayer garden. He looks different here because he had a helmet on, and I was like, I didn't recognize him, but I have no idea what's happened still. I'm hoping to get some type of info and what happened to him. Wow. Earnhardt also said they were investigating the circumstances leading up to the disappearance of Summer Wells. Yeah. Hey, Robin, I believe American. Loosely sink ships. No, I haven't figured out how he passed. But I want to. I haven't been able to look much into it, but I did try to message the other tree guy and ask him, like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? Because this happened last September. Because how he passed, I mean, it's just weird. Like, I don't know. We'll have, if also whatever happened to him is really important too here. So hopefully we can figure that out soon, because I know a lot of these deaths have been supposedly natural or ruled that, but something in my brain is telling me that something's not right. But was that the guy the other tree trimmer was talking about? No, we talked to 2 tree guys. He was one of them. Me and Kathy talked to Paul and Scott. It would have been just like 9 months prior to him passing. So it was January of 2022. Channel name for Ernie Shell. Usually you could type, it comes up if you type in his name, or what's his little fake organization thing? We need to start keeping a list, Marie. I don't know why. I need to start doing that, because we've talked about it several times and tried to list off all of them, but I should have kept a list at the same time. We'll do that. That will be our project to work on, starting tomorrow. We'll figure that out. We'll all, as a collective, we're going to type out everybody we can think of surrounding the case. Now, many of them are, just happen to are just very indirectly related, but still, it's just, I don't know. I try to keep everything in context. I know that I have a lot of I pay a lot of attention to this case. So stuff with people passing away, I'm going to really notice and be hyper aware of. And it does seem, I hope it doesn't affect my bias in my perception of how odd I believe this is. I just feel like it's odd. I don't think it's normal amount of people. It seems like a lot, but I know, it has been 2 years and people die all the time, but it just seems like, I don't know. Leslie had breathing problems. It was either pneumonia or COVID. A spreadsheet in Excel. Yeah, I could do that. I have Excel. It's not Predator Hunter Nation. Oh, okay. His channel is called Mission Accepted. Yeah. It was like, yeah, in a creek. That's one of the more suspicious ones. Many of these deaths are, somewhat older men, not that old, but like 40s, 50s, who have a heart attack or something. But it just seems so odd. But then you have that Earl Taylor, who I am so stuck on that. I can't get that dude out of my mind. I feel like there's a connection with Summer. I don't know. And I don't believe but see, the thing is, a lot of his family are saying that they believe it was like a natural, like a drug, an OD or something, where he fell into the creek but that's what I hear anyways. I haven't talked to him in person, but I have seen proof of them saying that. So that's what, but I don't know the dynamics between his family. I don't know what kind of people these are either. So, and I've seen a lot of messed up people since I started YouTube. Like, it's really put into perspective, like, the kind of people that, and how prevalent certain kinds of people, like bad people, are. Dishonesty is like rampant. Has anyone compared the deaths to newspaper days? Was there even enough time for an autopsy? Takes 6 to 8 weeks. No, I think we'll have to look into that. See, the Jose thing I'm still confused about. I don't know. I'd have to ask Justin again how he was told by the family that he passed, because I'm confused. All I know is he did pass under very kind of suspicious circumstances. Well, I mean, from what I'm told, we haven't seen any proof, like absolute proof. Not the collective, anyways. Maybe there has been one or two creators or something, but I mean, that's just hearsay. I guess Ernie has a lot of audio with Candace. Yeah. He actually did really good at manipulating her, but that's what he's good at. So, I mean, but it was beneficial. She opened up. So police should use people like Ernie Shell to like interrogate or to like because I mean, criminals would make the best like investigators or to try to get information. Something mission. So we're good investigating skip tracers. I know can't find a death certificate for Jose anywhere. That's crazy, Renee. Yeah, skip tracing is what they use to like private investigators and stuff. That's what they use to find people. Like if somebody's on the run, like trying to avoid being served. So that's how I know about that. Yeah, oh yeah, she did. Candace did really she really did have a thing for both Benny and Ernie. The type of person she needs a man. If anybody's able to get information out of her that she has not already disclosed, it has to be a man. She's way too easily manipulated by men. But, I mean, it's beneficial in finding out what happened to Summer, I guess. She's talking about Ernie Shell's skip tracers. What's that, Mama Too? I didn't pay much attention to Ernie Shell as far as his channel and stuff. He's a big time. Is it some kind of conspiracy theory of his? He's like one of those like way wacko, like out there conspiracy theorists. Don Wells color his hair again. I don't know if it's just me or what, but a lot of people have passed and been put in jail since Summer's disappearance. And I know. And a lot of it probably does have something to do with Summer's disappearance. I believe that. I mean, who knows if Fred Hill's arrest would have even really happened if Summerwell never went missing. It could have been Summerwell's case that put the heat on Fred. So we don't even know the extent of this. This can go far, wide, and deep. And that's kind of like the domino effect of life. How one incident changes the outcome forever, outcome in history forever. He is funny and entertaining sometimes. I give him that. But he's also a handful and state of death, not obituaries. It was supposedly in California, right? That Jose passed. Is Justin live right now? He must be live right now. Let's see. Just got Amber Alert. And for those of you near Cleveland, Ohio, there is an Amber Alert for missing children. So it looks like 2 brothers. Hold on. I'll show it. Nathaniel Lopez, 5 years of age, and Gabrielle Lopez, 8 months of age. The involved vehicle is a red 2001 Toyota Solara. So anyways, I'll show that here in a second. Was he from Tennessee? Yeah, I'm really confident in saying he was. Even though I don't know for absolute sure I could pull up the obituary. Exactly, find Summer's truth. That's why I wonder. Justin just ended. Okay. Yeah, Paul was only 44 years old. He was my age. Hey, Mimi F6. Same thing for, well, you know, Earl Taylor's one doesn't really count because they're trying to say it was like an OD or something. But so we can't say, they're not trying to say Earl passed of a heart attack or something, because I think Earl he's also around my age, but I don't know if he's a little bit younger. Anyways, just young, pretty young to get to pass. And that's why I'm really curious of how Paul passed, because he's 44 and he was a active male in good shape. I mean, he climbed trees. Actually, I don't know if he was exactly a tree climber. I think he said he was some type of supervisor or something. I think his obituary said he was a supervisor. Scott is kind of one that's smaller. He's probably one that would climb. No, Paul was not this. Was not the tree trimmer that saw Summer. No, but it was. So we talked to Paul and Scott. Those are the 2 we saw that day. when we were over at the prayer garden area. I was seriously trying to look for a place to pee. Like, there is nowhere to go out there if you have to use the bathroom. It sucks. Like, anyways, we were over there, had just left Fred's, and they pulled up in their big trucks. I think they leave their, I don't know, there was like their vehicles that, I don't know. Some of them, one of them had their vehicle there or something. I don't remember exactly why they pulled in there. But it was like the end of their shift. Anyways, that's when we talked to them. They mentioned a Randy, and I'm in the process. Me and Kate Crime are in the process of trying to come up with. I think Kate Crime has found out who Randy is, but I'm confirming it. So once we get that figured out, I will definitely let you know. Yeah, but I've never talked to Randy. We just don't know his last name. But he is supposedly, the way they talked, he is like older than them. Cause Scott said older man. He's just an older guy, and Scott is like my age too. Well, I don't know. He could be as young as 35, I guess. It was so crazy. What do you mean, Kate? What's the Kate thing mean? So yeah, we're trying to get that. Also, I really have to pee, so I'm trying to think what to do here. Let me see. Need to find something to play for a second. 3 minutes should be long enough. So yeah, also I have talked to Laura, so I'll talk about that once I get back from my little pee break here. So give me 3 minutes.
Wells, and despite 2 years since the disappearance of the little Hawkins County girl Summer Wells, and despite so many searches, hundreds of tips, authorities know no more than they did June of 2021. That's when a family member first reported the 5-year-old girl was missing. Reporter Ansley Daniel breaks down the timeline of Summer's disappearance.
Summer Wells is missing. She's 5 years old. She's 4 foot tall, blonde hair. Last seen wearing a pink shirt and gray pants.
Hundreds of searchers from dozens of agencies searched through Beach Creek for weeks looking for Summer.
We will not quit until we find Summer Wells.
The community held prayer circles and vigils. A couple of weeks later, authorities called off the ground search. That's when Summer Wells' mother, Candace Bly, spoke on camera for the first time.
I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight.
In July of 2021, the Department of Children's Services removed Summer's older brothers from their home. In October of that year, their father, Don Wells, was arrested for a DUI.
I have lost control. I've done stupid things, and for that I apologize.
A few other planned searches happened, and in February of 2022, Don Wells was jailed for violating his probation. In March, Summer's grandmother recalled the night she went missing for the first time.
Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in. She said, "Mama, I want to go play with the boys." Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
10 months into the Amber Alert, the lead detective on the case said he had never worked a missing child's case of this magnitude.
I check tip line and voicemail when I first get here. I do phone calls and follow-ups on any credible leads I've got. I follow up on anything that I didn't get to a good conclusion the day before.
On June 15th, 2022, the investigation hit the 1-year mark.
When we held the first media briefing on June 16th, honestly, we expected to have good news to report by the time the next media briefing came around. Unfortunately, instead, day after day ended in frustration and disappointment. At that time, no one expected that we would still be searching for Summer 1 year later.
That was also the last time we publicly heard from Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson.
We will continue to conduct target searches in the Beach Creek area as new information is developed. We'll also continue to follow up on any legitimate leads. And it's been the goal of this team since day one to find Summer.
Sadly, not much has happened in the last year, but just yesterday, we told you the TBI has now released an age progression photo of what now 7-year-old Summer may look like 2 years after her disappearance. Let's take a look here. The image on your screen is a rendering created by artists with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. February 4th marked her 7th birthday. If you have any information that could help investigators still working Summer's case, please call this number, 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Well, doesn't look like much has changed. Hey, Justin. Sorry, I was trying to wait till you were off to go live, but I had to. I'm getting tired, so I'll probably only be on for an hour, hour and a half. But I did talk to Laura. Let's see. She says she said he is on jail on drug charges and I have to find a place to leave. They kicked me out and I don't have nothing, not a dollar. Yeah, so she supposedly his sisters have kicked her out of their property. I'm not sure exactly how, because I thought that property was in Fred's name, but I'll have to look into that. Some reason she says that she's being kicked out of there. She still does have the same Cashapp if anybody was wanting to help her, but I would really think it'd be best if anybody wants to help her just to send necessities, or something. I don't know what she's gonna do. She also let me know that that she confirmed that the bond's $5,000. Let's see. He said his sisters had the law kick me out. She said she doesn't have a way to go see him. She's trying to get me to help to set up visitation for her, but her ID is expired. And I already know they're not going to allow that. So I'm trying to help her figure out something with that. Supposedly, Fred's sisters have heard this channel and they've freaked Laura out and told her that I said on here that Ziggy said on her channel. Now, this is Fred's sisters talking to Laura, okay? Ziggy said on her channel that Fred and Laura poisoned his mom and dad. So she's getting, freaking out and wanting me to take down any videos of them because Fred's sisters got her thinking that I'm like, I told her, I said I wouldn't never, that's never been said ever. I would never say, you guys, that's not the truth. What's been said is just what's in the recordings. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. That's why I said, Lyric, if people help her out, I would suggest just sending necessities because I don't know this situation completely yet, okay? That's why I'm not, people do what they want, but I just would feel more comfortable if you just, if somebody wants to help, I don't want to encourage somebody to send cash when we don't know what what's happening right now. As much as I, you know what I mean? I just want to know what's happening first, but I wouldn't mind helping her out with sending her toilet paper and stuff like that. But nobody was at the house on the 15th. Weren't the boys there? Oh, you mean his friend was outside. Laura wasn't there because remember she had left. That's when she saw her and Fred saw Andy pass, is when they were leaving the holler around 3 to 3:30. They didn't get back until several hours later. Let's see. Sister accused Fred of pulling a gun on her that led to problems in Virginia. I listened to part 1 to of your interview. Yep. There is big issues between Fred and his sisters. It's not, well, I don't know. I just don't want, I just, I don't want to encourage people to send money because as much as I want to, I just don't know everything about the situation yet. Gosh, I don't want to, if you sell, it's not okay to manufacture meth and see, Fred told me that he doesn't sell drugs, that he helps his friends out if they're hurting, but he said, according to him, he said he doesn't sell them. That was like his rule. And he definitely is the type that would get taken advantage of and have junkies around him constantly asking him for stuff because he's really a pushover. Okay, the friend that was there, you got a good question about what he was doing there. I'm not sure. I think he said in one of the recordings what the guy was doing there, but I can't remember. But that is a good question. The friend is I'm sorry, his name is Chad Arnold. He's the brother of Jason Arnold, the guy whose skull was found on his property a year after he was killed, or that's another mysterious death in the area that they wanted to, slide under the carpet as natural or, an unaliving. It was, according to Fred, his best friend, Jason Arnold was his best friend that got murdered. It was his brother that was there the 15th who saw Candace. I think he was working on a vehicle or something. I can't remember. Are you saying something about the sure on the selling part? Yeah, probably. I'm sure he does sell sometimes. I mean, if you're using and you have the opportunity, I'm sure he does. But he is also the type that would be he was very open with me about his drug use and stuff. I mean, of course, he also he knew that he was being recorded too, but so usually people aren't going to be like, yeah, I sell drugs on the daily, I'm sure he downplayed it quite a bit. Usually people would, straight deny, but he didn't. But I'm sure he did downplay it. They've got to have some kind of evidence. I just wonder, I asked Laura who snitched on him, and she said she does not know. I don't know if it was Justin who showed me. Let me pull it up. It has on Hawkins County website. If you go to here, let me show it. Okay. Why is there two listed here? Oh, they're the same. Oh no, they're actually different. Why? Okay, here's one. So I'm showing you this because, okay, it says manufacturer, delivery, sale, possession with intent, filing date June 1st of 2023. Same for the same dates for maintaining dwelling for drug use also, by the way. Filing date June 1st of this month. Violation date March 3rd, 2022. So that would be the date that he committed the crime. So we have a date. That's one research point we can use. And we have another date. 1 second. They got him on 2 charges for each date. So they got him for another. So he has a total really of 4 charges because 2 counts of each charge. So on the manufacturing, it says meth right here. So manufacturing meth, deliver, sale, possession with intent. This is, okay, filing date and same for maintain dwelling for drug use. The filing date was June 1st, 2023. Violation date, November 29th, 2021. So if he's able to know who he sold to on those 2 dates, which I'm sure like he has nothing but time right now, then you can pretty much figure out who it was that snitched. But you know, if you do the crime, you do the time. So it sucks, but I feel like I feel disappointed because I feel like Fred should have known better. Like it was really not smart to be doing anything like that out there after this, especially after the Summer Wells. You know how much attention that got and how he was named as a drug dealer and stuff like that. To continue, it just was really dangerous for himself, and that's just a huge risk that he took. You know, it sucks if he got set up, you know, if it's somebody like we know related to this case, it really, and if it was for some kind of crazy, weird agenda, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was somebody trying to get themselves out of shit. So it just makes you wonder. But at the same time, like he still did it, you know, and if he didn't do it, then he would have never gotten arrested. So can't blame the snitch. I still would like to know who it was. Buy a kid 1 minute and sell it the next. I know, that's what I was thinking, Marie. I was like, please tell me that he's not the smartest man, okay? He's very, very Appalachian. Very Appalachian. That's all I can say. But speaking of, where's RJ today? I noticed that I haven't seen him today. It's weird. Usually see him always here. Well, I notice when you guys aren't here, when the ones that are always here. Do you think the monkeys was the meth talking? That was what I was thought at first, Jane. I really did, because I knew he did meth, and I know what meth does to people. I've seen it in person. I've seen what it does to people who are actively on it. But he acted so normal, like not normal, but normal. He didn't act spun out of his mind, basically. But when he told that monkey story, yeah, I was like, oh my God, dude, he is having delusions. That's what I was like thinking, or whatever they're called. He is having, delusions. But when I talk to other people, when I talk to other people in the area and they're confirming, I think it's one of those things that it's like, just like an old, a story that gets passed around the community and kind of gets passed down generations and stuff. And it's just a little like, it's like the Bigfoot. Some people believe in Bigfoot or whatever, and they tell stories of seeing it, and or whatever. A lot of people think West Virginia, probably, which is right by that area, is big. That's a big place for Bigfoot sightings. I know, I couldn't find it either. And I also couldn't find anything on Fred Hill's arrest. If he has a lawyer, they can do a motion of discovery and it tells the person's name. Yeah, I know, Jane. I feel for a guy, but at the same time, it's like, dude, what are you thinking? Like, I've stuck up for him for freaking a year and a half, and I still will. It's just that I can't condone, like, if the truth is the truth, no matter what. I still think, he's overall a good person, but there is no opportunity out there. This is not an excuse either, but there is no opportunity out there. This is what's happening to all those people out there. all getting addicted. They don't have any, like, they're really out there not connected to the real world in a way. Because it's even hard. I mean, it's super expensive to even get internet out there. And these people do not have money. The ones who have been there generations and generations, many of them, it's kind of different in those type of areas. Things run differently. There's certain type of, it's just different. Oh my God, Sheba, that was such an awesome story about that. You just it made me think of something. So, well, I was about to say that it has me think about that alien story over in, what was it? It was in southwestern United States. I know that. I'm pretty sure I know that. But you guys, I'm sure many of you saw it. We talked about it on here. I was talking to this friend of mine, and we were talking about that just a few days ago about the alien stuff, and we were talking about, he was telling me about these sightings he had, and oh my God, dude, I've never seen anything in my life like a alien or a ghost, or I've had weird things happen that my mind can explain away, that are very weird coincidences, but my mind can explain it away. I've never had an incident happen where I've seen a ghost or I've seen an alien or anything like that I couldn't explain away in my mind. This area used to have many manufacturing jobs. How many plants closed and drugs taking over? Yeah, they don't have jobs out there, and there's no opportunities. So this is what they do to get by. Most everybody out there does it in a way, like either with weed, meth, or not so much alcohol anymore, because people can more easily get it at the stores out there and stuff. But yeah, moonshine business was really big out there, and which because you're from the area, and obviously because your name too. My nose is, I don't understand, you guys. I think I do have allergies. Does allergies come and go, like, well, obviously come and go, but throughout the day? Or is it worse at a certain time of the day? I'm noticing mine at night, whatever the hell is going on. Who said a lot of strange things about summer? And what was said? If you're talking about Fred, he has been interrogated. Are you talking about Don? He is. He's done, so according to Fred, he's like helped, he's even assisted the police with horse things, or like when they need, I don't know. He has trained horse. I know he's trained horses, that he's known for that in that area. He's like known as the horse whisperer or something crazy. I have no idea. Something like that, just a local little thing. Oh, look, there's Blue Solo Cup. I can hear you saying that now, Blue Solo Cup. Everything that you say Ziggy at the end of it. But now people can't believe you, Solo Cup, because you told fibs on my channel. So now nobody can take you seriously. But I wish, I mean, I agree. Fred seems like a good person. take daily allergy pill. Oh my gosh, I can feel it in my eyes and my nose is just like closing shut. It's like, ugh. You're not Blue Solo Cup? Oh, you're his cousin, Blue Solo Cup. Like Fred from your interviews. Yeah, he's just a good old boy. I mean, I don't know. I look at him. I don't know why. I have no clue why I look at Fred like this, but I feel like I have to protect him like he's a little boy. I just don't think he's all there. I mean, he's there, but he's just Fred is this country as the day is long and the drugs is wrong and he has admitted to it. But in my opinion, he did not have anything to do with Summer's disappearance, and I feel like he has been honest. Oh, she's talking about Fred because she always makes smart comments about him. Well, I thought that she was talking about Fred, which is fine, but you have to need to back it up just with examples on what you mean. Like, what are odd things that you think are said, because that's like the biggest pet peeve. It's just because of what happens with me. People say so much shit about me, and they just go with it, and people follow it without any proof. So anybody can say that Fred has made strange comments about Summer, but that doesn't make it true. We need to know what you're talking about. Maybe he has. If I haven't, I can't think of anything. But if you would tell us, then we could talk about it. I found him actually very childlike himself. Oh, Blue Solo Cup is your son. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. Blue Solo Cup Senior. Yeah, he's the original Blue Solo Cup, but he's trying to be funny. He's saying he's not, but he is, I could tell. And he lives in Kingsport. Claritin is now drowsy. No. Not that I know of about him being schizophrenic. The only person I can think of that may have said that was Jody Sue. But, like, she has no room to talk. I mean, come on. Takes one to know one, right, Jody? He does. I just wish you guys all could meet him and you guys could see what I'm talking about. He just is like a kid in a man's body. Just a big kid. He talks so proper. He'll call you ma'am. He'll tell you that he'll call you his sister. He'll call you his brother. He'll tell you, love you, brother. Love you, sister. It's really touching. He is very kind. Kind is just a very kind, pure person. Truly. That unfortunately has a drug problem. I find him genuine. There's good people, guys, who get hooked on drugs all the time. It is drugs that really, most people in prison, you know how many good people are in prison because of drugs? Because of addiction? What did he say, Laura? What did he say? I know when he said, I know. I think truly he is ADHD. He told me he is. I could tell. I mean, he's not a hyper person. It's just, there's different kinds of, it's weird. I can't explain it. He's not, maybe it's because of the meth actually, because people self-medicate with meth for symptoms of ADHD. And some people's is so severe that it drives them crazy. And he, according to Fred, he says that that's, the only way he can feel normal. Well, I think, it started, or he told me though, that he did tell me he does meth every day, but he told me that he's not addicted to it, I don't know how. I mean, but you don't get like physically addicted to meth. It's different. It's like a mental thing. He says that his addiction is opiates. But that he did do meth that he had to do a little bit just to be normal of the meth. And if he was making it, he could, if he was making it, he could control what goes in it too. So, hell if I knew, like, they use some pretty horrible stuff in that though. I don't think there's any, if there's any meth makers out there that's like, they're going to make the, the eco-friendly version of meth, or that smart choice, like the organic choice of meth. The diet, like, kind of like regular and then diet, like the diet meth that had without the less of the harsh chemicals. Well, meth light, like kind of like cigarettes, regular cigarettes and Marlboro Light. That's awesome. Shake and bake. So what's that mean, shake and bake? Is that something that's really easy to be made or something? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Terry, for the $5 Cash App. I appreciate that. And somebody asked me if I looked at Earl Taylor's Facebook, and I have. Yeah, I've gone through it. Did I miss something with it? Look, this guy is like saying, like acting like I'm stupid because I didn't know how you make it. It's well, I think that Jody Sue is pretty well versed in that. It probably is what Fred does. I don't know. I've really never seen somebody make meth. I really haven't. I know that they use, I know people try to pay people to get the Sudafed tablet things. They have to show your ID for. Oh my God. Are you serious? Blue? Really? Can I come on panel, Ziggy? I want to talk about my son, Blue. So he has an alcohol problem. Me and his mother are very worried about it. Oh my God. No, not tonight. You should. How about we schedule a time and we'll schedule an intervention for Blue for tomorrow. If you come back tomorrow, we will, and I'm live, which I don't want to. I don't want to say it's set time. If you email me and are serious, we'll do an intervention for Blue Solo Cup tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not adding him right now. No, because I know it's going to get really, just gives me a headache. But it was funny. I know it sucks, nanny life, but everything, I mean, it happens for a reason. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know. Sometimes like people people just disappoint us, and there's, I want to help Laura out. I really do, what I can, but I don't want to help with bailing him out. I just don't. I don't think that's smart. I need to stay far away from that. His bond is $5,000. It's doable, but those are some serious charges, and when somebody is charged, those are the type of charges people run on because they're so serious. Especially the fact that has a previous felony, so he knows for a fact he's going to do prison time. And probably there is no way, that he's not going to do at least at the very minimum 5 years in prison. And that's straight, not half of 5 years. Because I'm thinking 10 years, half of that. He doesn't have any major drug charges or anything before, so that's good. His last charge, the charge in Virginia, I don't think had to do with meth. I don't think so. It's not like it's two of the same crime, which they take more harsh. But he's still gonna do time. If he wasn't a felon, a previous felon, he could probably get away with house arrest or something. If it was a setup, I know. Blue Solo Cup sounds older on here. Yeah, how if it's really his parents, would they did he? I said that they couldn't be. I said it's different. It's not like physically addicting like opiates. It's like mentally addicting. That's what I said, and that's just my opinion. You may find it physically addicting, but I don't see it as physically addicting. I see it as mentally addictive because it's kind of like cocaine. Oh, Abundance is saying something about I didn't say that it can't, that I said it can't be physically. Okay, you're saying it's physically addictive? Why? I think you're missing what I'm saying. Like, you don't have physical withdrawals when you come off meth. I mean, maybe the severe meth addict, but I don't know. They do. I don't know exactly. I'm not an expert on it. You're 98 years old? Because I've met him and you're blocked again. Like you said that you respect me in my opinion and stuff, and that we differ our opinion, but then then once again you have to call me or say I'm disturbing. I've met him several times. You have not. I find it disturbing that you're so obsessive with your feelings about Fred because of some psychic vision. Okay? Thank you, sunshine. Coming in late and hot from Arizona. How hot is it out there right now? That is true, but that's not really fit. I don't say that. That is true. Yeah, that is true. It does have that physical effect of sleeping forever. Like after you've been up on it but I don't know but it's not like, I don't find that a part of it. That's different. That's not like, it's not, that's not a symptom. That's a symptom of staying up for several days in a row, That's not a symptom of physical addiction. The symptom of physical addiction is like, the withdrawals, like throwing up or cramps, like you say. That's like a consequence of the physical addiction. Like, can you think of anything? And I'm serious. I'm seriously curious if you feel like there's anything you can think of, any type of physical withdrawal off of something like that, meth or cocaine. No, Lou, and the intervention will be tomorrow if his parents email me, and we will set that up. An intervention for blue solo cut. I'll give them an hour of my time. 1 hour only. Really? Cops from Hawkins County said Candace had weed in her hair when they was up there. Is this some other made-up story? I mean, I see that's possible. I don't find it a big deal, though. Weed isn't a big deal to me. Now, if you said crack cocaine in her hair or something, I might be like, oh my God, are you serious? But weed, that's like grass. I don't know. Nothing to me. That's true what I found. Most street drugs are cut with fentanyl now. That's what yeah. Oh, I believe it. I can believe it. I'm not gonna. I mean, she does. That is her drug of choice is weed, right? Well, actually, it'd probably technically be alcohol first, but so many people don't. I just gotta. Thank you. I just got a $20 super chat, and they said, but I'm not gonna say the person's name because it says But they just said for busting that bitch, Lady CG. Thank you to whoever sent that. They don't want their name mentioned just because it will cause problems, you know. But it's funny. I almost said it until I saw it said don't mention it. Speed in the 70s, yeah. But see, like Speed back then used to it was more it wasn't as dirty as it is now, right? They called it ice back then. It's more pure or something. I have no fucking clue what pure meth or whatever. I mean, meth is made from all chemicals, so I don't know how it could be more clean, but I'm not saying Fred's a bad guy. Hell, I'm a drug addict myself. Just a recovering one now. Just being a drug dealer is not good. He's the one supplying drugs to people. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm a recovering addict also. I've talked about it many times on this channel. So sometimes like I feel like sometimes people go through like things in in our life as a learning lesson, as a way also to help others who later experience it. And it's kind of like the ones that can survive it. Because a lot of times people, you know, addiction kills a lot of people and they don't ever get the chance to get clean again. All it takes is one time. So, and that's true. That's why it's not okay. That's why I think that it's best that I not interfere with trying to raise money for his bond. If it was something different, like I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to be in that situation, but because of what it is, how serious it is. What's that mean? Are you paying off Ziggy? What the hell does that mean? What's that, Lucilla Cup? Weeds. Oh, you're saying weeds was in her hair. You're not saying, oh, so you're saying she had weeds in her hair, like she had been in like. Yeah, but how can we believe you? Because you tell us so many stories. Well, he's still in the slammer. Well, I talked kind of about Laura and her situation. Right, exactly. Maybe he'll get, I don't know, maybe he'll be able to do house arrest for 5 years, 10 years somewhere. And it maybe something will good come out of it. Candace Candace had been through weeds when the cops came. Yes, ma'am, cops saying that in town. I can believe that. Huh, that's weird. That would be weird, but I don't know if I wish I could believe people Solar Cup, but that would be interesting. that you said that she had been through weeds when the cops came, as far as, and had remnants of that in her hair. My knees are so freaking bad. I'm so confused what's going on, guys. I'm stressing enough with my own freaking. I'm just trying to get peace in my life. Yeah, but he doesn't sound like Don at all. I think Candace took Summer and dumped her so weeds in her hair would be right. She had been through weeds, sweaty. I'm telling truth. Cops are talking about from beginning. Well, I'm sure people will come up and confirm your story if that's true. Those cops went to the old folks' home and discussed Candace with all the 98-year-olds? No, that's funny. No, that is definitely Blue Solo Cup, because I could tell how he's talking. Yeah, they are. And I only know that from coming off sleeping medicine that had benzos in it. Holy crap. I was awake for like 2 weeks straight. Those medicines are really dangerous. That sleeping medicine. Hold on. That is what my son, Blue Solo Cup, told me. Quit picking on him. He is a dear, sweet boy. He was. I have to admit, he was respectful. You raised a good son, but he's not the most honest. And maybe if we can get him an intervention for that alcohol, maybe he'll be a little bit more honest. What is it? What is it? Something bad? About the game over thing? What the hell? Hold on.
Another little girl to give up for them.
Fred says also Fred's wife had something she wanted to share about Candace.
She had just give that baby up maybe 2 or 3 months before Summer went missing. It was about a year before that she had another little girl to give up for them.
Fred says also Fred's wife had something she wanted to share about Candace.
She had just give that baby up maybe 2 or 3 months before Summer went missing. It was about a year before that she had another little girl to give up for them.
Fred.
Okay. Yeah. Laura did say that. Oh, really? Would benzos not help that? Well, obviously a heart attack. I mean, I would think if you're going to getting that to that extreme, you would benzos. I know people usually that's what they take if they take too much is benzos. Well, with cocaine, but I would assume same thing. I can't say the same. I don't know. I haven't witnessed with meth. No, not really. The closest that we've got to proving that is Lips in her conversation with Candace when Candace talks about a baby that she had and adopted. But some people believe Candace is just telling a story there, but Candace didn't know she was being recorded, and also it's really hard to understand video. What? On OnlyFans? This one was, I think the Lips one was with Dawn, wasn't it? Or wait. Oh gosh, I don't know. No, I think it was before Dawn and her were together. Many weeds in the hill. The thing is, they took samples, the FBI, from her hair. This is the truth. Wow. Told what on there? Candace told that on Daisy's too not long ago. Oh, about a baby she had adopted? It was a girl with Dawn. Blue Solo Cup. That's interesting though. I hope that they were that thorough and did collect things like that they saw. The dad was the Lips story was a baby by a man before Dawn, wasn't he? Yeah, I think so. I believe Candace lied to Dawn about what really happened to Summer, so he didn't hurt Candace. Oh, you think it has to do with Candace? You think Candace is the main culprit? Yeah, I think you're right, country girl. Jody Sue said they didn't know she was pregnant with Summer until they came home. And yep. The way that, okay, so the way that Candace is shaped and the fact that she wears like baggy men's clothes and is very tomboyish, she can definitely get away with not showing until she's 9 months so easily. I mean, nobody could tell I was pregnant till, I mean, I was very far. Of course, it was my first child, though. But only if you're like I feel like women, I don't know. It is possible to hide it from the public. I don't think it's possible to hide it from your husband or something, or to not know you're pregnant. I think that's a bunch of BS. I don't believe somebody can just arrive at the hospital and be like, "Oh, I didn't know I was pregnant," and be in, be in labor and have, delivering a baby in full term and never not knowing the whole time you're pregnant. I mean, I believe it's happened. I do. I believe it's happened probably once or twice out there because of some dramatic circumstances or whatever. But I think it's I don't know how that could happen. I mean, there's so many things that happen when you're pregnant. I don't know how somebody could not know. Really? You are so full of shit, Blue Soul Cap. I wish I could believe you. I really hope that you're not saying anything putting out any more information purposely not true, because we already are we're already confused enough by the stuff that's out there that people swear is true. We don't need people just being funny and seeing if they can get people to believe certain things because they're bored on a Saturday night or whatever. It's already so convoluted. But really, what do you think Candace did? Oh, I agree, Kathy. I mean, I can totally believe it. Let me see here. I have a message. I didn't gain but 15, 18 pounds with second, but it was all belly. My first gained like 30 pounds. Doctor said it's not needed in pregnancy. Yeah. I actually lost weight because I was so sick. I did end up being about, by the time third term and by the time I had Caitlin, I was about 10 pounds up from what I was before I got pregnant, but I had lost like 20 pounds during my first 2 trimesters, and then gained it back like the third or so, plus 10. Or, a second into third. I had morning sickness for a really long time, it seemed like. It was definitely longer than first term. And then when I I don't know how many, I'm sure many ladies experience this, but once the baby gets so big, like once you get around 7.5 months pregnant, and the baby, 7.5, 8 months or so, and the baby's sitting there like laying on your stomach and their little feet is going through your rib cage. But I remember I could only eat like a little bit at a time because she was laying on my stomach. But the hunger, oh my God, the hunger is painful. If you don't eat, it's not like when you're not pregnant. Like when you're not pregnant, you can go without eating much easier. But if you try to do that when you're pregnant, like nature really calls and it's like you need to freaking eat. And it hurts. It's painful. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. Because I would be in situations because I can only eat a little bit at a time because my stomach was, I guess, being laid on or something, or laid up against or something. It can happen, you think? Hey, Smokey. My first, I gained around 10 to 12 pounds. But right now with this one, I've lost about, oh yeah, you're pregnant. I lost about 3 pounds because I've been crazy sick with morning sickness. Has been all day, but just, I know, isn't it funny how they call it morning sickness, but it's not like morning. It's not just morning. It's actually, well, I mean, for me anyways, it had nothing to do about morning. It was just whenever the F it wanted to rear its ugly head. And it's crazy. It's the craziest thing one of the craziest things I've ever experienced is morning sickness, because it's not like any other sickness and you can't control it. It just happens. And I can imagine there's all kinds of embarrassing stories out there of women who just like get sick from morning sickness out of nowhere unexpectedly. One time it happened to me when I was driving and I couldn't even stop or anything. I was just like in the floor of the passenger seat, like, oh my God. Yeah. I didn't have an option. It was just right there. I know. It does that even if you're like average size. Even probably with yeah, especially at the top, like at the top part of the belly. That was my first one. The sickness was just in the morning. Like you said, it lasted about the whole pregnancy. For me, it would literally just be like the first 30 minutes of my day. Really? So it was actual like morning sickness. Cop, former, and friends. I believe it. I mean, I believe it. I think it sounds possible, but we know you tell stories too. See, that's the problem. That's like the story of the story of the little girl who called cry, or is it little boy or little girl who cried wolf? I've never had Nutella. Never actually. I don't know why. It's strange. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and I've seen it many of times, but I never have had it that I can remember. Yeah, I didn't really buy new clothes or anything. I just wore leggings and stuff like that, and t-shirts. I didn't go buy maternity stuff really. Stop. That was my son's Ziggy. I'm a Civil War vet. Blue Solo has problems. He's a good boy though. Yes, you raised a very respectful man. I never go back one of the Taco Bells. Johnson said after last week I threw up all over the parking right in front of 2 employees too, and they were so nice to me, but still. Gosh. Yeah, you just have no time to react. Oh, when they don't know they're pregnant? You mean when? Yeah, I could see that more so, but the thing is, like, you know how it feels. Like, you have a few kids, and you know how it feels to be pregnant. I don't understand how somebody can go through a whole pregnancy. Like, you feel them in there. You feel a little alien moving in your stomach. A little baby, a little munchkin. How can you sit there and I suppose it's very possible. Not very. Maybe it's kind of possible. Like if it's somebody's never had a baby before and they don't know what it feels like to be pregnant. I guess, but man, it hurts. Like once you get around up there, and it hurts. Like, and I'm not like that little. I'm not a little girl or something. Little. And I'm not petite. That shit hurts. They put their feet in your ribs, and you can totally even see them moving. Even if somebody was like 400 pounds and pregnant or something, like, I knew I was pregnant the second, and it was just instinct. The second I took a drink of alcohol and I got sick immediately. A sick I had never felt in my life. It wasn't like any type of sickness that I've ever had, and that's when I knew it. And that's when I went and got a pregnancy test. And I remember being like, I remember standing in the bathroom just being like, oh, like I was like, oh wow, I'm pregnant. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But I was like in my upper 20s, so, and of course I would not change it at this point. I know, I agree. And that's another thing that makes me just really hope. I just noticed a lot of people getting arrested, and that's kind of close to the case or been mentioned that we've talked about, and kind of just makes me wonder, like, and if that's true, I hope that Fred Hill's the only reason why he's got singled out here is because of the attention of the case that's been put on him by like Don Wells, really, or being, or me talking to him, but mainly because Don Wells pointing him out as the neighborhood meth dealer. I hope that that's the only reason why Fred is related to the case, if that even makes sense. like why that arrest was related. Fred's arrest. But then you have all these like Dudley Ashawn, Celeste Taylor, Ricky Crawford Jr., and yeah, I don't know. Could it be related? Could these be signs that something's soon to happen? I was really hoping if they had something, and you guys also let me show you something real quick. Did you guys notice the dates on Fred Hill's charges? The significance? Hold on. Did you see the significance? Look, do you guys notice the filing date and what that day was? So Fred, it looks like, was one of the cases seen during the grand jury meeting, June 1st. So I thought, I don't know. I was thinking a couple days before the 15th, like maybe they'll do it like on the 15th, you know? Maybe somebody will get arrested on the 15th. But then that day's come and gone, and nobody arrested still, so. Hoping someone sings perhaps so many sickos in the arrow. Little girl wandering on their own, I had no chance. Silent indictments. No, but also, you know, like once again, the two dates, the two incident dates are November 29th, 2021, and they didn't even arrest him then or charge him because they got him again in March 3rd of 2022. So it's like what they need, two instances of somebody finally. I mean, is this the same person that went to buy off Fred and it took 4 months for them to get a second sale to really, you know, dig in that, to really, you know, stick the charges? I don't know. That's what it makes me think. Like, why did it take 4 months to get the second ones? I don't know. Because you gotta know, you gotta think it's gotta be a snitch, and Fred's not gonna go sell to just somebody like random. I mean, he does talk too much, but I don't know. He might. A secret indictment they had on Fred. Yeah. He might know that. He might know that. You think killed, or do you think well, either way, I maybe, yeah, he probably just is trying to find the proof. If hopefully they do know and just is trying to get that extra proof. trying to remember where I put that nose spray stuff that I had. I got it the other day because, man, this is annoying, like not being able to breathe. Let's see here. Maybe it's in my little bag here. Ugh. I don't know where I put it. I thought I kept it right here so that I could access it if I needed it, but I guess not. Can't remember exactly. I do have pills though. The grand jury was June 1st. So that's why I was noticing that's why I mentioned that date and why it has some significance. But I also will look into that secret indictment thing because that sounds very plausible. The violation date is November 29th of 2021. And on the second charge, because he probably just I don't know why it says manufacturer, because I think every time somebody gets charged with selling there, they put, I think every time it says that, even if they didn't manufacture or even if they don't have, I don't know. Because I've noticed that on all Tennessee charges, it's saying manufacturing. Maybe they only got him for selling. Because the two dates, they have two charges of the manufacturing, delivering, sale, possession with intent. Two charges of that, and then two charges of maintaining a dwelling for drug use. So, the one instance, there was two instances. One was on November 29th of 2021. The second time, it was March 3rd of 2022. So those dates are going to be really important to remember, I'm sure. Will probably be dates of some people's research to find the significance of that date to find out who it was, because it will, or maybe if with the discovery, he might be able to find out. Not that it's just interesting, and I'm not gonna, it's not an attack on the snitch or anything, or because Fred shouldn't have done it in the first place. I'm just curious though if it's anybody that we have heard of. Oh, that's awesome, Chastity. Yeah, Kathy, I'm about to go here in a few too. I need a drink, and I need to find that nose spray. It's driving me nuts. I need to watch my little videos every night before bed. I watch a couple inspirational, spiritual video type things. It's really relaxing. Oh, are you talking about the black one? She's over there, Tracy. I'll message Laura again and ask about that. But that one dog, the black one, the big, huge, black, very, very black pit bull looking dog, it stays outside. Then there's the little Chihuahua looking one that's an indoor one. But there's that one area underneath. There's that porch area over at Fred's. But I'll make sure, I'll ask Laura, because Laura's out. She's over there stuck. So she's there. And if she's not right there, she's over down at his mom's. The mom's house down there. Because she goes down to the mom's house to use the internet. So I'm pretty sure she's got the water and stuff. But according to her, she has to be out with all her stuff, and that would mean the animals too. Well, I thought she was saying next Monday. I don't know what she's gonna do. Thank you, One Love. But yeah, I will message her and make sure. They did. Laura only has till next Monday to get out, supposedly. She was placed in Louise in a hurry, I think. Probably. Yeah, because that dog is... it probably was a big black one. Yeah, she has to be out by Monday. According to her, the sisters are kicking her out. Because, see, Fred's mom just passed away back in March, I think. Just a few months ago. And so that's caused, this big war over her property and all that. The sister, one of the sisters is the one that's the whatever you call it. So, was it not power of attorney? That's not the right word. When you guys will say it. But anyways, she's the one in charge of everything. And supposedly, she's kicking Laura out, which would mean that the property that Fred stays in, the trailer looking thing, is under his mom's name. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's under his name. So I don't understand. I need to look. I believe she's in a really, really bad spot. I do believe that. I know that. But I just don't know the circumstances surrounding it. She says that the sisters had law enforcement kick her out. She has no idea where she's going to go. She's like, she's trying to get, she talked to me about help. She's trying to get me to help her get a visit with Fred. But her ID is expired, because she can't get internet. She's not good with technology. She can't get internet. Plus, it's like, she was trying to get me to schedule it for her, but she sent me a picture of her ID, but it's expired. I was like, they're not going to take that. I already know. So I don't think she's even... She told me she hasn't even talked to him yet, but... Yeah, I have been talking with his girlfriend. It's a really cool looking dog. It is like all muscle. And it is black as midnight. It will scare the hell out of you and come out of nowhere, because that dog is, and it's freaky. It's pretty scary looking. It looks like one of those dogs that you would put like the spike collars on, like at a junk car. And it kind of is like a junk car lot there, or junkyard there. So it kind of has got the atmosphere too. But yeah, the dog, it needs one of those big spike collars, because it's like one of these big muscular looking pit looking dogs. I don't know I think it's a mixture of a pit and a lab. I don't think it's full pit, but it's really, really stocky. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Yeah, the pit is friendly. She might need somebody to take it, so that's something I'll have to ask her. I know she's really not going to want to get rid of that Chihuahua, but it's tiny because that thing's like her little baby. Power of attorney. There you go. They would have to evict her, so I don't see how it's possible unless, that's what I mean. That's what I don't understand with that story. She's been living there for years at that trailer, so how could she get kicked? How could she get kicked out? They have to go through the process of the court, wouldn't they? That's a process. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. She has tried to call me, but I know she really is in a bad spot, but I don't know about it. Just the getting kicked out story. I don't know how it's possible, but I'll have to. That's funny, Smokey. Unless her name's not on the deed at all. But she does have mail there. I mean, she has proof that she's been living there for, forever. So, you can't just you have to evict somebody. That's why they say if you have a guest that you're letting stay for a couple weeks or something, to never let them get mail to your house, because then they could say, turn around and never leave and not leave and force you to freaking evict them. Yeah, she's out there with the dogs though, right? And as it goes, and I will talk to her about that and see if something needs to be done, because I hadn't thought about it that far, but yeah, that is important. I don't think she'd just leave them out there. I'll ask her. Surely if she can't take that black dog with her, she would. And I asked her, if she wanted me to find somebody, then I'm sure she'd be fine with it. I can't. My landlord would freak with that type of dog in this house. It was already quite the struggle with Athena. The only reason why we have that little pup right now, and I don't have a problem with it, or really, because it's only 2 pounds. But that dog, that pit, is a big, muscular dog. We're not talking, and I don't even know how it's not neutered either. And I have Athena. I just remembered that. Yeah, I think it's a boy dog, and it's not neutered. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Oh, her name's not on the deed. She's not married to him. No, her name's not on the deed. Yeah, because I've looked. I know I've seen it somewhere before. The owners of that property, and I'm pretty sure it's Fred Junior Hill, and so I don't understand how they can just how his sisters can just kick out Laura. I'm going to check. I have to go here in a second, so I can't look Laura right this second, but I am going to look into it. And I am going to message Laura about the dogs to make sure that they're getting taken care of and see. And I will check into the visitation thing if you guys really think that. Does he have to put her on a list or anything? No, he has a bail. It's $5,000. I've confirmed it's $5,000. No, I need to. I have to mow my grass now, basically. It hasn't grown much in the front yard, but I never mowed the little part in the backyard that didn't get mowed. So which is really, I'm just making the job harder on myself because this push mower is it's not a propelled one. So it's like you got to push it through. And then when you try to push it through like really tall grass and stuff, especially thick areas of grass, it will start to like, turn off, and you have to lift up. You have to keep every couple feet, like clearing out the blade. Yes, Liz Solomon, email me at youtubeziggy@outlook.com. I didn't think that they could either. It's because Jim was a landlord and I know the laws of that type of stuff. And I've also, Jim's son's a sheriff, and I've heard him talk about the laws on like evictions and stuff. I mean, we had to deal with crappy stuff with COVID because people thought about the tenants and stuff who couldn't pay rent, but nobody thought about the freaking landlords. Nobody was looking out for the property owners. People were just able to say, oh, I can't pay rent. I can't afford it. And then that was that. You couldn't do anything about it. It was really rough. And so, yeah, that was just one of the situations we go through. So I know a lot about, this is West Virginia. That was West Virginia, though. So, and every state's laws are different, but there is a lot of obviously similarities. And I know in West Virginia, you can't just like, if you have mail, if you've stayed there, I think it's 6 weeks. If you can prove you've been there for 6 weeks, then yeah, they have to evict you. I forget. Yeah, I don't know if it's 6 weeks, a certain amount of time. And getting mail to that address, if you get mail to the address, you're golden. Like, that's like your ticket to being able to stay there. And people do it all the time. I mean, some people have no shame. They just like purposely get mail at a place they're staying so that the person can't just kick them out. I don't know, Betty Smith, if he'll bail out. It's $5,000. If he owns that property, that he could probably put his land up for $5,000 if that is his land. he might be looking into that, see if the landlord will. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I'm getting tired, but it's really been a good chat tonight. We had 350 people in here at one time, and I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me tonight. And we will hang out tomorrow, and I'll look into some of those things that we discussed. And if the intervention is happening, if Blue Soul is Cup's Army vet, 98-year-old father would like to come on and say his piece tomorrow and try to beg his son to go to rehab, then, Papa Blue Cup, Daddy Blue Cup, email me, YouTubeZiggyOutlook.com, and I'll let you come up for an hour. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. Street mailbox? No. Good night, guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Ta-ta.